Alright, welcome back. Today we are going to start building something you will use for the rest of your design career, a reusable component library. Everything we built in the previous episodes comes together here. Components, variants, properties, nested elements, all of that becomes much more powerful when you organize everything in one place. And the best part is this, once your library is ready, you won't rebuild buttons, cards, navbars or inputs again. You will just drag them from the assets panel and start designing instantly. So let's begin from the foundation. First, I'll create a brand new page and name it Library Foundations. This page will hold the core building blocks of the entire system. Now let's create a few essential style tokens. I'll drag a simple rectangle. Then on the right sidebar under fill, I'll click the 4 dot icon and create a new color style. I'll name it something clean and predictable, like blue/25, blue/50, blue 100, etc. You can choose whatever naming style you like, but keep it consistent. These color tokens will be used across every component we build later. Now I will create some rectangles with different colors with clear namings like blue/900, blue/800, etc. So all these styles will be in a folder called blue. To save all of these colors as a style, you can either select each rectangle one by one and save as style like this, or you can do it faster with a smart method. For that, first you have to name all the layers clearly. Then use this plugin called Styler. I'll talk about it in an upcoming video. It's basically save element as styles based on layer names and properties. So clear naming is important here. I'll just select all of these boxes, go to plugin and find this plugin called Styler and click on generate styles. As you can see, it has generated all the colors as styles under a folder called blue with clear naming. I'll repeat this for a few more colors, just enough to cover basic UI needs. Now we have our first set of tokens ready: blue, purple, gray, white, black and primary. Next, I'll create styles for text. I'll type something, maybe heading. Then set the font size, weight, line height. Then I'll save it as text style. To make the work faster, I already made a few essential ones, like all the headings from H1 to H6, 2 subheadings, 4 body text, few captions and label styles. Again, to save all of these typography properties as a style, I'm going to select everything and use this styler plugin. So it will save all the styling according to my layers names. And as you can see, all the styles are now saved on the left side. Now we can apply these styles on any design element we want, like this one, in just one click. Now it's time to define spacing values. You can make a frame and list your spacing scale like 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32 and more. Everything will be multiples of 4. You don't need to create these as styles. Just keep them visible as reference so you know which spacing increment to follow inside components. Then you need to create 1 or 2 effect styles, like some styles for shadow and a few styles for blur. Now as you can see on the right side, under effect styles, we have now some styles for shadows and some styles for blur. We can delete these two. These are not for effects, these are for fill. So the foundation is ready. So we haven't made a single component yet, but we prepared everything the components will rely on, like text styles, color styles and effect styles. Now I'll create a simple button using the same method from the previous episodes. I'll start with a frame, add text that says button, add auto layout, apply color style, text style, and spacing token. And then I'll wrap everything and turn it into a component. This is our base component. From here, we can create variants like default, hover, pressed, disabled. We can add text properties we have been using like text label, boolean for icon, instance of property if I want multiple icons. And I'll make sure everything uses the tokens we created earlier. Now we have a button that is fully reusable and future proof. Any update to our color styles or text styles will automatically update every button in the entire library. Also, I added a few more essential components that we may use multiple times in the future. Now it's time to publish it as library. So we can use all of these designs token on other files as well. I'll go to the top right, open assets, and click on this library icon. A window appears showing all components and styles. I'll review everything here. Text look good, colors look good, components are named properly. Now I'll hit publish. At this moment, your entire design system becomes available to every file in your project. No more copy paste, no more rebuilding buttons every time. Now I'll switch to a new blank file. On the left panel, I'll open the assets tab. As you can see, the library we just published appears here. Just click add to file. Double click. Now I can drag in buttons, toggle, radio buttons, and all the components we created. Text properties, booleans, icon swaps, hover states, all included. Also, if I take a text, write something like button, and if I go here, you can see all the styles are available here as well. So we can use all the design tokens we created earlier on any file inside our workspace. Now let's talk about something extremely important. If I go back to the library file and edit one of these styles, for example, I change the primary color and publish the changes, then go back to the new file and update it. As you can see, all the buttons changed automatically. Now if I add a stroke, for example here on the main component, and publish the changes, you can see every instance updates automatically. All the overrides will be intact. Nothing breaks, no layout shift. Your full system updates safely. This is how professional UI libraries stay consistent across hundreds of projects. If this episode helped you, make sure to like the video and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.